Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Batman Dark Legends. Take a look at this column cover right here. Now, Batman Dark Legends is part of the Legend of the Dark Knight series, which are stories set in the early career of Batman. Most likely, these stories are set in the first year of Batman's career. There are a few exceptions like Batman Faces and Batman Terror, but for the most part, they are set in the first year of Batman's career. Now, I love the Legend of the Dark Knight series. They're a great Batman comic book series that have a very dark, gritty feeling that really gives that sense of aloneness and struggle for the reader and for Batman. They can be very street level in nature, but they can also work with the superstitious element of Batman also, dealing with enemies that are more on the line of demonic or archaic or magical. And it works with it very well. This reminds me a lot of the animated series in that maybe these are standalone stories that can actually stand alone on their own. They don't need to be connected to continuity at all in any way, shape, or form. They just work so well on their own. And some of the premier Batman writers tend to go on this from time to time. So the question is this. Dark Legends is one of the most expensive of the Legend of the Dark Knight trades. It's up there with Prey and Shaman, which is without a doubt the two best Batman Legend of the Dark Knight trades. They're fantastic, and because they're so good, they're worth the price. But is Dark Legends worth the price? Is it really worth going out there and paying the sum of money that people are asking for it? Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. Let's get into the story. Now, Dark Legend has a total of 4 stories in them. I'll run through them real quickly. The first story is Batman losing his identity and being trapped in this psycho ward. He needs to figure out what is reality and what is fake. Is he really the Batman, or is he just a deranged Bruce Wayne strapped up on a table and he can't get out? Well, that's the basic story. An enemy is out for revenge on the Batman for the Batman destroying this person's life. So Batman's going to have to use his most powerful tool of all, his mind. The second story is one of the first confrontations between Batman and the Joker. Let me take a moment here just to stop. Batman and the Joker in the modern continuity have several first encounter stories. The Man Who Laughs, Mad Lovers and Madmen, Dark Legends. There's been a lot of different stories that are supposed to show the first confrontation between Batman and Joker. Now, which one of these are actually canon? Yeah, you don't know. You can kind of all blend them into one, and you can say pieces of them are canon here, and pieces of them are canon here. But really, in the end, it doesn't matter, because in about a month, there's just going to be a new first confrontation between Batman and the Joker. So what are you going to do about it? Well, to its credit, Dark Legends was actually the first Batman first encounter with the Joker story in the modern continuity since the Crisis on Infinite Earth. So it at least has that going for it. The question is it a good story? Well, the basic concept of the story is that it's Joker going around with his laughing gas, his toxin, and he's basically poisoning prominent people to get money. And Batman needs to go out and stop him. But Joker's a little bit different from the normal average criminal. Deadlier, smarter, and, well, very unexpected. You don't know what's going to come from him. He is an enigma. Can the Dark Knight take down the Crown Prince of Crime? Well, yeah, I mean, of course he can, but hey, how is he going to do it? Just going to have to read and see. The third story is a story of Batman battling wit and body with a former colleague slash student from one of his martial arts training days back in the East. Batman needs to stop a crime gang, a Oriental crime gang that's trying to overrun Gotham. And in the process, one of his former ninja brethren, who does not like him, is challenging him to fights to the death. Can Batman outsmart, outwit, and defeat this opponent before any lives are lost? Or will the death toll weigh heavy on Batman's heart when the day is over? Well, you're just going to have to wait to see. And the last story is a story that falls into superstition. Batman goes into battle with a criminal, a cultist, of lack of a better term. And he gets thrown into a grave, and he starts hallucinating a conflict between him and a dead, evil individual from way back in the day. But is this really a hallucination? Or is this really happening? A story where you're never sure on exactly what is real and what is fake. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, without a doubt, my favorite story in this is the confrontation between Batman and the other ninja student. I'm just going to call him the ninja student. In the story, he was called the Dragon, so I guess I'll call him the Dragon. It was a great story, and it was very reminiscent to that Batman animated series episode where Batman faces that ninja that he could never beat, and now he fights him as the Batman. It's kind of similar in that, and it has a great feel to it, really well structured, and I like stories that deal with Batman's training sometimes. Take a look at the stuff he learns and how he learns it. Because anyone can say that Batman has over 127 different known martial arts, but when you actually sit down and you look at him train and learn this stuff, it's actually quite cool. And it was a well-told story. I also like the art and the storytelling in the last story. It was short and sweet, but it got its point across, and it was well done. With the exception of the ending, like the last two panels, it was a very nice story. The Joker story was very basic, but it was very Joker. It served its purpose for the time, and I guess it's such a basic Joker story that you can blend it into any of the other millions of Joker stories that were done as the first confrontation between him and Batman. You can just say that this story took place during the other stories. Yes. Bad. Well, with the exception of the third story, which is Batman versus the Dragon Ninja guy, none of them were overly that impressive. They were short to some points, and then at other points they were too long. Some of them were dragged out a little too long, like the Masks one, the one where he is strapped in the psycho ward and trying to figure his way out. It was 2 issues, but it was, for me, 2 issues too long. And then some of the stories were a little too short, like the one between him and Joker, or the one where he is dealing with the hallucination, with the evil cult individual. Those felt a little too short. The only one that really had balance was the one where him versus the Dragon Ninja dude. Other than that, none of them overly stood out. In addition to that, none of the bad. It didn't stand out. This comic doesn't live up to the price at all. They're there. Nothing really spectacular about them. They're not overwhelmingly bad. They're good stories, but the thing is they just don't stand out that much. And the thing is that they're decently well written, and the art it serves its purpose. But again, it's just then they don't stand out at all. Which brings me to whether or not you should get it. I would say no. Unless you see this in store for a cover price of $14, which isn't a bad price for what this is, I wouldn't get this. The only other place you're going to find this is online, or maybe at a Comic-Con, and online it goes for a lot of money, and it is not worth the price that they put there. I mean, anything that you're going to get from this, you can get from other Batman stories, and let's be honest, most of the people out there that are going to buy this want to get it because it has the Joker story in it. But I can tell you that The Man Who Laughs and even Lovers and Madmen are better stories than this Joker story. It was a good Joker story. It was even written by Dennis O'Neil, I believe. It was a good Joker story. And it can blend in with the other Joker stories, but it's not worth going out and paying the money for it. This is mediocre at best, and not worth your money. So, with that said, I'm going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.